Cosmic Fantasy II is an RPG by Telnet and Lasersoft that was first released in 1991 in Japan on the Turbografx CD, and was later localized and released in North America by Working Designs in 1992. It is the first RPG by Working Designs, and its release makes them the first third-party publisher of console CD-ROM game software in the US. Cosmic Fantasy II is the only one of 5 Cosmic Fantasy games to get an English release. There were plans by Working Designs to bring Cosmic Fantasy III and possibly Cosmic Fantasy IV to North America also, but plans were dropped in mid-production when the Japanese parent company went bankrupt. It really is a shame because it seems that each new release showed noticeable improvements with both visuals and gameplay. There have also been attempts to fan-translate Cosmic Fantasy I in the past as well, but sadly, they have never been completed. Cosmic Fantasy II follows the adventures of Van, a young man on planet Idea whose love interest, Laura, gets kidnapped by the kingdom's rogue royal wizard, Galem, when it is discovered that Laura is secretly the princess, who is hidden away due to her being born with powerful inherent magic ability. Van takes off in an effort to seek guidance and power to rescue her, and after a failed showdown, is sent by the wicked Galem 20 years into the future, where he will be forced to live under the tyrannical rule Galem has established with the aid of black magic, monsters, and the help of evil cosmic beings and space pirates. There, he joins forces with newbie cosmic hunter Cadet Babette, who has descended to Van's planet in search of a rescue beacon. Together, with friends they have made along the way, they lead a rebel assault to take down Galem, free Laura, and restore order to the planet once and for all. At first, this all seems really interesting. You might think, wow, this sounds like a great hidden gem. It sounds expressive and captivating, but sadly, there's a catch. Gameplay in Cosmic Fantasy II is just flat out mediocre, if not painfully so. It's often flat, and the difficulty curve is up and down, with some cheap tricks thrown into the mix. Combat is repetitive, and honestly, it's really sort of broken. Battles are your standard turn-based affair, typical for something so early into the 1990s, each brought on by a random encounter. And it's right here where we start to see the problems. The encounter rate ranges from frequent to just too high. It's not as constantly bad as, say, Mother 1 or some early Dragon Quest titles, but it's just too much. And to go with that, not a single enemy in the game uses magic or status-altering effects on your party. This makes a handful of items and magic abilities totally useless, and therefore it takes away the excitement when you learn these new skills or make certain discoveries. I'm also not sure who's to blame for this error. Some sources believe it was a mistake on Working Designs' part, while a couple of others I have found claim it was always a flaw with the original game. It's a shame, because while the standard in-game graphics aren't really anything spectacular, they aren't bad for a game in the standard Turbografx CD format, instead of the superior Super CD format. And while some dungeons, caverns, and mazes early on aren't too memorable, they do become more fun to explore as the game moves along. Cosmic Fantasy II starts off with a strong enough bang, but it loses steam for a while until Van is sent to the future and Babette is introduced close to the midpoint. Not all of the come-and-go party members are too memorable, but when things do start running, I really did find myself definitely engaged. The pacing and tone of this second half is more fun and adventurous. It's really where I felt the most motivated to plug along. Dungeons become more varied and gimmicks like teleporters and secret passages are introduced. And while I typically don't love these things in maze-like environments in games, the more often than not, they did not overstay their welcome and kept me on my toes, in a good way. Characters make bigger, more involved decisions, and actions and you get to see the effects of Galam's treachery a bit more now that it's the future and time has taken its toll on the land. You even get to reconnect with a couple side characters for small but nice moments. All in all though, I have to admit that combat, environments, exploration, all of the most important elements of Cosmic Fantasy II are not its strong points, but they never really were. The big draw to Cosmic Fantasy II is the production and how the story was told, rather than the play and the story itself. The visuals, voice acting, cutscenes, and to a slightly lesser extent, the characters and plot are what sold the game in 1992, and what keeps the heart beating today. There's a good use of color, and the monster sprites are actually really nice. The cutscenes, while limited with their animation, are vibrant and expressive in a way that wasn't really seen on consoles at the time. Seeing these animations with a full vocal cast is still a treat for a game this old. In fact, I would go on to say that the quality and style of these animations rival that of Lunar on Sega CD, working design's most noteworthy game. And I think there's more of it too. There's about 33 minutes worth of animation in this game. Some of the name changes and little added jokes are odd and out of place, but to be honest, there isn't much to complain about. At the time, I would have given the voice cast a fairly high grade, but as it stands today, they'd be something like a C-. Not great, but I've definitely heard worse from more recent productions.
Cloud! Oh, Nan, eat!
Commander! I'm on vacation!
Yes, sorry to bother you during your vacation, but you must rush to Planet Idea.
Idea?
Little Fox was attacked by cosmic pirates above the stratosphere near Planet Idea and forced to retreat to CSE headquarters, leaving its pilots stranded on the planet. This is an extremely dangerous situation. Cosmic pirates have been seen in the area. The pilot's name is Babette. She has just recently graduated from CSE training. Her pilot computer, Robert, has reported she's on the planet with the alien child she rescued.
Ah! Oh my god! That's my son Pico! I left him with his mother when I went to find work!
The text reads well, and it flows naturally in a strong way that wasn't really seen back then. I think it's important to remember this and appreciate it when you think back on this localization. It helps the player get attached to characters worthy of attachment, and it gets you rooting for their cause in a way that gameplay itself cannot. I wanted Van to defeat Galam and save Laura. I wanted Babette to find adventure and fulfillment as a cosmic hunter. And I wanted the little stranded alien cat Pico to find his father. At the end of the day, I was pleased with where the story went, and approved of the twists and punches it threw and surprised me along the way. The gameplay is bad. I really can't get around that. There's no excuse, as it was never stellar to begin with. Even compared to its contemporaries, it's aged poorly, and I think that if Cosmic Fantasy II wasn't a working designs game, and if it didn't allow the luxuries of the CD format, I don't think I would have finished it. The game really does have some things going for it, but I can only really recommend it to hardcore retro fans and RPG gamers that are looking for a sort of time capsule of the niche of the era. Cosmic Fantasy II is an interesting relic. I'm glad I put time into it, but I'm also glad it's over. Cosmic Fantasy II was also good for working designs. According to company head president Victor Ireland, the game sold very well for them, almost one-to-one with the platform, and it proved that there was a market for this niche in North America, that working designs had the talent and the right design philosophies to fill that niche. It set a path for bigger, better RPG and story-based games that they would often pursue throughout their run. I really look forward to the future games that Working Designs has out for me. especially the next release, Exile. It takes a more action-oriented approach and has some bold themes and settings. I really hope you enjoy what it has to offer next time on the World of Working Designs. Thanks, and goodbye. As always, if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, tell your friends, do all the things, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.